Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Jyoti Prakash and let's get into the video. So now let's look into Bank Nifty in 1 day candle chart. Then after that we're going to look into in 15-minute candle for taking any kind of trade. So you can clearly see that today market opens around that higher zone which is 40,700 and from that zone it shows some negative movement here, and when it closes below round level 42,000 it goes until 41,850. So as of now it looks negative to me, and you can clearly see that on also price action made here. You can clearly see that it shows some negative movement here and it made a pullback here, and after that it now trades around that lower zone. So if it closes below that lower zone tomorrow, then you can expect some rapid selling pressure here, and you can set our target to 41,600 to 41,500. For taking any kind of buying trade, it needs to closes above 42,000 level first. Then and if it shows any kind of positive movement by closing above 42,200 or 300, then after that I will going to take trade for buying. Neither I will going to wait and watch if it shows any kind of positive movement there. Now let's look into in 15-minute candle where you can take trade tomorrow. In 15-minute candle you can clearly see that it opens gap up and shows some negative movement at that higher price, and price action also shows negative because it did not closes above that higher side. So if it market opens around 42,500 42,050 or 41,850, and if it opens around that zone and shows any kind of negative movement there, then you can take trade for selling. And as I said, our target will be 41,600 to 41,500. But if it opens gap up around 42,200 or 300 and shows any kind of negative movement at that higher price, then also you can take trade for selling because it continuously shows negative pressure here. So if it opens gap up around that zone, then those seller who did not take selling trade today, they will going to be take trade for selling because it may be show some negative movement from that zone. So it may be happen that it opens gap down. So if it opens gap down around 42,600 or 500, and if it shows any kind of positive movement there, then you can take trade for buying because it continuously shows negative movement here. So if it opens a gap down, and tomorrow also Wednesday, so you know that if it opens a gap down, large gap down, then it may be so some good profit from the beginning. Then those seller who take selling trade, then they might be took profit here. So if it opens a gap down and shows positive movement there, then you can take trade for buying. And that's it for Bank Nifty. Now let's look into Nifty in 1 day candle chart. In Nifty, it also made similar kind of pattern as Bank Nifty opens gap up around that higher price and shows negative movement here. But one thing it had today happened that it closes below 18,000 level, and it also makes similar kind of pole and flag pattern here. Shows some negative movement continuously for 3 days, and one day it shows some pullback, and today it shows some negative movement here. So if it trades below that closing price, which is 17,800 tomorrow, then you can also expect some selling pressure here. But you can take trade if it shows opens around 17,900 or around 18,000 level and shows negative movement there, then you can take trade for selling, and you can set up target to 17,800. So now let's look into in 15-minute candle where you can take trade for buying or selling. In 15-minute candle you can clearly see that if it opens around 17,900 or 17,800 and during that zone, which is 17,950 to 17,850, and if it shows any kind of negative movement there, then you can take trade for selling, and you can set our target to 17,800 first. Next time we can set to 17,700 to 17,600. So it may be happen that it opens gap up. So if it opens gap up above or around 18,000 and shows positive movement after that, then we can take trade for buying, and we can set our target to 18,100 to 120. But as of now, my suggestion would be please avoid any kind of buying scenario here, because you can see that it continuously breaks that support level and shows negative movement here. So if it opens a gap up and shows negative movement there, then you can also take trade for selling. And it may be happen that it opens a gap down. So if it opens a gap down below 17,800 or 750 and shows any kind of positive movement, then we'll going to wait. But if it shows any kind of negative movement there, then you can take trade for selling because it breaks that support zone which is 17,800. So if it trades below that, then there might be some new buyer, new seller added there. Then that is the reason why my suggestion would be if it opens gap down and shows negative movement there, then you can take trade for selling. And now let's look into Bank Nifty components, because Bank Nifty components are very crucial for you to make profits in Bank Nifty options, because Bank Nifty components are those who's providing throttle or movement to Bank Nifty. So if you capturing them during market hours, then you can easily make profit in Bank Nifty options. So you can clearly see that in HDFC Bank it opens around 1600 level and it shows some negative movement after that, and when it trades below 1580 level, then after that it shows negative movement here, but right now it trades around 1570. So my suggestion would be, if it opens flat and shows negative movement here, then you can take trade for selling, and target you can set to 1550. But one thing you can assume that previously from that 1550 level it took support. So if it opens a gap down, then it may be act as a support level, so you will going to wait. But if it opens flat and shows any kind of negative movement, then you can take trade for selling. So if it opens a gap up around 1575 or 1580, and if it shows negative movement there also, then you can take trade for selling. Now let's look into ICC Bank. In ICC Bank, it also made similar kind of pattern here. It opens around that resistance zone, which is 880, and it took resistance from that, and right now it trades around 860. So previously 860 to 840 level act as a support level. So my suggestion would be, if it opens flat and shows negative movement, then you can take trade for selling. But if you wait for another 2 to 3 days for identifying any kind of trend confirmation, then after that you can take trade for buying or selling, because it may be it opens gap down and shows negative movement there, but previously it act as a support level, so it may be took support from that zone, so it may be go sideways for another 2 to 3 days. So after 2 to 3 days, after confirming the trend, then you can take trade for buying or selling. Now let's look into SBI Bank. In SBI Bank, you can clearly see that it also shows negative movement here, and if you know it opens around that higher zone, which it wants to break from the last 3 days, but it could not break here. So when it breaks below 600 level, it shows some negative movement here, and it made low around 590. So my suggestion would be, if it opens flat and shows any kind of negative movement there, then you can take trade for selling, and you can set your target to 590. But if it opens a gap down around 590 and shows negative movement there, then we're going to wait for any kind of trend confirmation, and after that we can expect any buying or selling pressure from there. And now let's look into Kotak Bank. In Kotak Bank, you can see that it continuously trades around that red zone for the last 2 days, and it did not closes above, neither did not closes below. So my suggestion would be, if it opens flat and it trades below 1790, then you can take trade for selling, and your target will be 1780. But if it opens gap up and shows positive movement there, then we will going to wait it to closes above 1810 for taking any kind of buying trade. Now let's look into Axis Bank. In Axis Bank, you can see that it opens gap up and shows negative movement here, and also yesterday I told you that if it opens gap up and maybe act as a resistance level, because it previously it took resistance from that level. So if today it opens around that 965 level, and right now it trades around 950. So if it opens flat tomorrow and trades below 950, then you can take trade for selling, and you can set our target to 940. Now let's look into our last bank, which is ICC Bank. In ICC Bank, you can clearly see that other banks shows negative movement here, but ICC Bank today shows some positive movement, and it right now trades around 1230 level. So previously also it took support from that level and shows good positive movement there. So my suggestion would be, if tomorrow it trades above 1230, then you can expect some buying pressure here, and you can set your target to 1240 to 1250. For if it opens flat and shows negative movement there, then you can also take trade for selling, and you can set your target to round level 1200. And that's it for today, guys. If you like the video, please share it and subscribe my channel, and if you wanted to share with your friends, then you can do it. And bye bye everyone.